Okay, so we've drawn our basic rectangle. What we're going to add now is the two little holes that we use to actually attach our base onto the upright piece that would go in that position. So again, to do that, we have to create a new sketch again. And again, it's telling us and prompting us to create a new sketch plane. So basically, we're just going to hover over the surface we're going to sketch onto. So with that top plane, again, you can see it creates that sketch too. And then we're just going to use the circle sketch tool to then draw onto our face. Again, you can rotate it round if it's easier. You can also do a click on this icon over here where it says top. That'll give you a perfect top view. Sometimes that's a bit easier when you're drawing circles. So I'm just going to drag out a circle. Again, I always make them oversized and then dimension them back down. So I'm going to make that circle a 4mm circle. Again, just zoom in a little bit. Create another circle. Again, what you can do, if you hover over the original circle and then drag it out, you'll see it produces this orange dotted line. It basically means it wants to be, you want to draw the circle so it's in the same line, same distance from the back. So sometimes that makes your life a bit easier later on. Again, just click the dimension tool, dimension that. I'm then just going to dimension it from the back edge. So how far from the back edge? So you can see I've collected that back face and then the centre. And I'm then going to change that dimension to 30mm. So you can see, because I inferenced it, that bit where we did the orange dotted line, it moves both of them out of the way. We then just need to put the dimension in between. So I'm actually going to dimension it from the centre circle to that sort of centre line, which is the work plane. And again, that dimension is going to be 15mm. I'm going to do the exact same, so I'm going to go from that one to that one there and create that one at 15mm. So then we're fully dimensioned where our holes want to be. So again, you could have done it on the angle. So again, two little holes, 4mm diameter, each of them 30mm down, and then from the centre plane, from that work plane, out 15mm. Once you've done that and you're happy with that, click on the tick. We're then going to extrude, but this time you can see we've got a remove option here. So rather than adding material, we're going to remove it. Again, you can see it does this default. We'll change that in a second. What you've got to watch when you hover over it, you think you've selected the circles, but it's actually selected the outsides. You actually need to make sure you're right on the inside of the circle. So just the circle gets removed. Again, you can see it doing a little preview there. Again, we could leave it at 25mm because clearly that'd go all the way through. That'd be fine. We can sometimes use this one where it's on blind. We could obviously change that to any, but if we click on this little arrow next to it, it does the same thing. Basically, we can just do through all. So if we can't remember the measurement and we want to go through, we can just click it on through all, and we then create the two holes in the base. Like I say, that's what we use to screw in our upright. What we're going to do, so I'm just rotating around to the back of it. So this is the sort of first, that top plane. We're going to do what we call a chamfer on the top there. So to chamfer it, if you look over on the top here, just below this sort of education hat, there's an icon that says chamfer, and again you can see it's going to basically put a little planed edge on there. At the moment it's set to 5mm. Again, the blue box always says what do you want to chamfer, so we click on the inside of the circle. You'll see it gives us a preview of what it's going to do. And we want to change that chamfer to a 2mm chamfer. So click on the tick box. That's just going to create a little countersink for our screws when we come to assemble it all together. Last stage is then to change the colour because our wood's quite often not blue. So all we do is click on the little appearance panel icon there, double click on this blue colour, brings up a little colour palette, and I tend to just choose this one over in the top corner, but obviously you could pick any of these, but you just need to remember which one you did. I tend to go for this one in the top because it's an easy one to find, and we click on the green arrow and minimise that by clicking on it, and we've then sort of finished that first piece. As I say, as we get used to the software, you might be able to come back and edit this and chop off the corners and round it over and try and put your design onto it and cut your design that you've designed in our previous lessons. But for the moment, that's that first piece done.